Okay, first graders, everyone simmer down, take your seats, get out your pens, your papers, your pencils. We're gonna have a classroom discussion on sexual orientation and gender identity. But be sure not to show your notes to mommy and daddy, okay? Florida's Parental Rights in Education bill, recently passed by the House and Senate, prohibits things like that from happening in Florida classrooms. You might actually be more familiar with this bill if I call this legislation what opponents call it. They like to affectionately refer to this legislation as the Don't Say Gay bill. This bill says, classroom instruction by school personnel or third parties on sexual orientation or gender identity may not occur in kindergarten through grade 3. Critics argue this bill might marginalize LGBTQ students. Kind of like how Christian students feel when it comes to discussing God in schools, or kind of like how conservative students feel when it comes to talking about politics in school. Oddly enough, if these critics actually took the time to read the full 7 pages of this legislation, they would realize that the word gay or the letters LGBTQ never appear once in the text of this legislation. The bill simply states that if topics like gender identity or sexual orientation are going to be discussed in certain grade levels, parents need to be notified first. Why? Why be against legislation like this? If you want to have a say in whether or not your first grader can opt out of a prayer session at school, then your fellow moms and dads should have the option to opt out their first grader from a classroom discussion on sexual orientation. Quite frankly, I can't figure out who wants their 5-year-old to have a classroom discussion on sexual orientation or gender identity. Which brings me to ask, is it the role of public school teachers to discuss gender identity and sexual orientation in the classroom at any age? You tell me.